Living comfortably on a modest income is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Contrary to what one might think, it is not necessary to have a high income or wealthy parents to lead a pleasant and even prosperous life on a tight budget. By being strategic with your money management, you quickly realize that it is possible to live on much less than you might imagine. Even someone with a modest salary can find that they have a substantial amount left over at the end of the month, while steadily building incredible wealth. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it, and leave a comment to let us know what you think. It may seem difficult, but whether you're young and just starting your career or older, concerned about your financial future, these strategies apply to you. And regardless of your current situation, some of these ideas could potentially eliminate your biggest expense, making wealth accumulation inevitable. You might be surprised at how much money you really have at the end of the month, even after covering your basic needs. One of the first crucial tips is to analyze your expenses. If you often find yourself at the end of the month unsure of where your money went, this step is essential. Knowing your spending habits isn't reserved for those with little money. On the contrary, even those with high incomes need to understand where their money's going. Start by determining your monthly net income, then list your fixed expenses such as rent, car payments, insurance, and other regular bills. Next, take inventory of your variable expenses, those dependent on your hobbies, groceries, restaurants, etc. Once you have an overview of your financial flows, you can easily spot areas where you can save. Let's take a concrete example. Suppose you earn 2,500 euros per month and your fixed expenses amount to 1,500 euros, rent, insurance, etc. You are left with 1,000 euros. But how much of this amount is actually allocated to useful or necessary expenses? If you're accustomed to eating out often, going out every weekend, or buying clothes every time a new trend pops up, your expenses might be higher than you think. By doing this analysis, you may realize that by changing some habits, you could save a substantial amount each month. Another golden rule is to avoid debt. Of course, this may seem obvious, but it's a truth worth repeating. Debt is one of the biggest obstacles to sound financial management. If you're not careful, borrowing can quickly become a vicious cycle. You borrow one sum, then another to manage the first, and so on. Eventually, you find yourself in a situation where every cent you earn is gobbled up by repayments. This prevents you from saving for future projects, and over time, it can make purchasing a property or building savings impossible. By avoiding debt, you allow yourself to manage your finances more smoothly and prepare to invest in your future. Another trap to avoid is impulsive buying. How many times have you been tempted to purchase an item simply because it seemed necessary at the moment? Maybe a jacket you thought was essential, or a gadget you believed you'd use often, but that ends up gathering dust in your closet. These purchases may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they represent a significant loss of money. An effective way to manage this is by applying the 24-hour rule. Before giving in to an impulsive purchase, wait at least one day. You'll realize that after 24 hours, many items no longer seem as essential as they did before. This small adjustment can make all the difference for your wallet while preventing the accumulation of unnecessary items. Reducing transportation costs is also a great way to lighten your budget. Car-related expenses, monthly payments, gas, insurance, and maintenance represent a large portion of many households' spending. If you live in a city with good public transportation or close to your workplace, the solution could be to forego a car or choose a more economical alternative like walking or biking. You can also reduce your trips by grouping errands together, minimizing gas costs. The less you use your car, the less you spend. If you can't live without a car, opt for a more economical or electric model, which will consume less fuel and require fewer maintenance costs. This step can significantly reduce your monthly expenses and save you hundreds of euros a year. When it comes to food, cooking at home instead of dining out can dramatically reduce your monthly expenses. Eating at restaurants, even inexpensive ones, can add up. By cooking at home, not only do you save, but you also eat healthier. Planning your meals and shopping based on your actual needs allows you to reduce waste and buy smarter. It's a skill that, with a little practice, becomes quick and enjoyable, and it can make a big difference to your budget. For example, instead of shopping every 2 days, you could plan your meals for the entire week, buying in larger quantities, which allows you to take advantage of promotions and reduce costs in the long run. Finally, choose low-cost activities for your leisure time. Shopping or going out in the city can become expensive habits if you're not careful. However, there are many free or low-cost activities, such as a walk in the park, a hike, or spending time with friends over a homemade meal. These simple moments are often much more fulfilling than expensive outings. Additionally, it allows you to strengthen social bonds without straining your finances. There are also free activities, like museum visits during open days or local events that you can attend without spending a penny. However, the most powerful advice is probably to live for free or at least drastically reduce your housing costs. Housing is the biggest expense for many people. There are strategies like house hacking that allow you to reduce or even eliminate these costs. For example, if you own a property, you can rent part of it, whether it's a room or an apartment. You can also consider buying a house with multiple residential units and rent out the others to cover your housing expenses. This creative approach allows you to live without worrying about monthly payments, freeing up a large portion of your budget for other investments. Another highly effective way to reduce your overall expenses is by thoroughly reviewing your insurance contracts. Many individuals simply accept their current insurance policies without ever questioning whether they are getting the best deal available. Insurance providers are constantly changing their offers and prices, and it's easy to get comfortable with what you've had for years. However, if you take the time to shop around, you could uncover significant savings. You don't have to settle for the first quote you receive. Don't hesitate to get multiple quotes from different insurers and leverage online comparison platforms to ensure you're getting the most competitive rates. It's an easy and often overlooked step that can lead to considerable financial relief. Even a small reduction in insurance premiums can accumulate into hundreds or thousands of dollars in savings over the course of a year. When you start applying these strategies, you may be astonished at just how little money you actually need to maintain a comfortable lifestyle. With a little planning and smart decision-making, it becomes clear that living within your means doesn't require sacrificing quality of life. Instead, it allows you to prioritize what really matters, save for the future, and still enjoy life today. And perhaps even more importantly, these steps will set you on the right path toward financial freedom. Achieving financial independence doesn't have to be a distant dream. It can become your reality through smart, intentional actions now. If these tips resonate with you and seem useful, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Your thoughts and feedback are always appreciated. See you in the next video, and take care on your journey to financial security.